So, okay, so would you have a problem with like, or I guess something that you could also work towards is just like the overall like ethical production of these products rather than just abolishing them all completely.
Well, how do you?
Yeah, sure. So if humans were in that position, would you? Sorry, go ahead, Red.
Oh, let me. Hey, get the fuck out of here. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, like, how do you ethically kill something that die? That's the concern. You know.
I think that it's it's obvious to the fact that most people will not stop doing these things. Like I think that the world will never completely be vegan just because of people's ideals as well.
All right, hold on. Let's go through one at a time.
If you look in the wild,
guys, wait, stop. Go through one at a time. One argument at a time. So the first question is, what it was. Do you think we should just support like,
ethical consumption of the product?
Yeah. So if humans were being slaughtered in a more ethical way, do you think that's acceptable to support?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, unfortunately, we live in a world, in a society where we are at the top of the food chain, and although it's
not wait. So that's not an answer to my question. If humans were being slaughtered,
that wasn't my question.
Ways,
though. That wasn't my
question.
Well,
what you asked
that was happening in China.
What you asked is, should we buy these products if they're ethically made? So now I'm asking, should we?
Who is echoing?
Okay, someone's echoing.
That's the bot.
But the thing is,
Sean, you're echoing.
Yeah.
So the question is,
it's the Theo.
Hang on, I got something to say. Can people just like mute their mics until they actually have like something relevant?
Oh yeah.
Just because there's so many people can't even like understand who's like speaking. Yeah.
This server muted. Annoying orange.
Sure. So my question is if we think that it's acceptable to buy these ethically sourced products, animal products, do we think it's acceptable to buy ethically sourced products made from humans?
Well, that goes by different things because societal standards, especially to the fact that most people's more as humans.
Well, I'm just asking what you think, what your view is.
No, well, obviously you can't ethically source humans, but I'm explaining.
Okay, sure. So what's true of animals, which, if true of humans, would make it so that ethical slaughter would be acceptable for humans?
It's societal standards and morals that most people have. Most people hold.
Okay, so if society said that, sure. So if society said that it's acceptable to slaughter black people in the same way that you're talking about slaughtering animals, that would be acceptable.
Oh, you're taking my word in a completely different position. I'm not talking about the slaughter.
Okay, what I'm asking you, no, hold on. What you said is, on your view, you don't think it's acceptable to slaughter humans in the way you're currently proposing slaughtering animals. So I'm asking you, what's true of the animal, which, if true of humans, would make it acceptable to slaughter humans in the way you're currently proposing slaughtering animals?
If it was a societal
right.
Societal
so your trait is society. So now I'm applying society. Your trait. So now I'm giving an example where.
Whoa, Sean, you gotta go.
Okay.
I'll mute Sean.
Sure. So you said society. So now I'm asking you, if there were a society where it was deemed acceptable to kill black people in the way you're currently proposing killing animals, would you accept that?
Well, that's kind of an extreme, and that's kind of taking away.
No, I'm taking the trait that you named, and I'm applying it to a hypothetical, and I'm asking if that hypothetical were true, do you accept it?
I'm guessing. Well, not necessarily if I accept it, but like society as a whole would accept it. Yes.
I'm asking what your view is, not what society thinks. I understand that society thinks it's okay to kill animals. I'm asking what your view is.
Well, either way, I'm kind of, I guess.
First of all,
I guess no.
You don't kill
because I don't want
humans
to kill
for nutrition.
Black people.
Hang on.
Well, hold on. We can deal with one thing at a time.
Okay. Yeah. Just hold him to the point, because like
he's
asking for your current justification and just seeing if you're actually consistent.
Well, because my current justification, although it's a societal thing, I think it does go deeper than that, and something that you can't compare to the slaughter of black people if there was a society that had that there. Because
why not? What's wrong with the analogy?
Animals for many other things, not just to kill them. We don't kill them and laugh and point. Unfortunately, we use them to eat, and we use them to keep ourselves healthy.
Well, all right. What I'm talking about is killing black people for the purposes of eating them in the manner that you're currently proposing killing animals.
Yeah,
that's what we don't do in today's society.
If society, and I never knew about today's society, if for whatever reason there's an alternate universe where it is okay to kill and eat black people, I guess that if I was placed there, I would probably follow the societal standard rather than creating my own path.
Yeah, well, I'm not necessarily.
Well, hold on, because that's a slightly different question than what I'm asking. Because I agree that we often follow the societal standards for instance, a lot of people in Nazi Germany followed the societal standards of the Nazis. What I'm asking is it acceptable? Is it morally acceptable in your view?
I mean, no, it would be morally wrong to this version of myself, yes. But this version of myself never grew up in a place where there wasn't the
so that's
and consumption of animals.
Okay, so if you say that's
kind of not compared.
Right, so if you say that, if you say it's not acceptable to kill black people in the manner you're currently proposing killing animals, that's just going to be a contradiction, right? You're saying that society does and does not justify the slaughter in the manner you're currently proposing.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
I think Fish, if you mind if I try to explain your opinion. I think what Fish is saying is that, like, just because it's a societal standard does not necessarily mean that's what's morally right. This is a cliche. Just real quick, like, this is like a cliched thing that like a lot of vegans use, but like, slavery was like a societal thing for thousands of years, but yet now, at least in developed countries, we've done away with all that. We understand it's fucked up.
Yeah.
So Fish, you think that's something like that's what you're trying to get at?
Well, yeah, and all I'm saying is that if we so that's the view I would take. I agree. Now, if you want to say that society does justify it, then that's going to entail in a society where it's acceptable, where society deems it acceptable to slaughter black people, then that's going to be ethical. And if you say that that's not ethical, then society does not, in and of itself, justify any given action.
Well, I think in order to like really come to like the point that I'm gonna get, you have to understand. you have to get to the point of what I'm thinking. The reason why we consume animals and why I continue to consume animals today. Because I agree with you. I guess in a way it is morally wrong to kill something else, especially like you said, it has a sentience. Same thing with like, when it has a sentience. But the reason that we do it is a lot more than that. It's the fact that we do. It makes us a lot of money as a society, and it holds. If us as a country, just say as America, stopped eating meat and stopped producing meat, we'd lose a large portion of our economy. We lose a large portion of just how we live in general. If that was something that instantly was enforced, also there would be a big outlash among people, because not only do they not like being told to do it, is against some religions, and people do not like being told against their religion, especially in a country like America where it's based off of free speech.
Sure.
And to kind of take that away, I think, is unfair. So that's why I think that what I think a healthy medium would be is to reach the point of not, I guess, like you said, you cannot technically ethically kill something, but to ethically raise and once it dies, or maybe I'm not sure. If I knew a solution to the problem, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd probably be somewhere else.
Sure. So there's a couple of things I heard. So you said some religions make it acceptable. I mean, there are lots of things that religions find acceptable. A lot of religions find female genital mutilation acceptable. I don't think that's a reason to support female genital mutilation.
But a lot of people today that support that religion do not support that as well. So I guess it's less of the religion, more of the people that
but you can also,
but
you can find Christians who are vegan. You can find Muslims who are vegan. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, so that's because they did go against, but that is still going against their religion.
Yeah,
maybe they are part of a subgroup that is less.
That's fine, but I'm just pointing out that religion is not per se a justification for any action.
No, I mean, it's not always a justification, but it can be a justification.
Right. That's the point. But it's not in and of itself a justification.
Yeah.
Well, I did name multiple things.
Sure, and the other one was, what did you say, economy? Yeah, so if we had like an economy that was based on breeding, disabled people for consumption, would it be acceptable to sustain that so that people didn't lose their jobs?
This is the thing.
Part of our economy too.
No.
Yeah, slavery used to be part of our economy as well. Yeah.
Yes, and we did find ways around that. Like I said, if I had an actual solution to it, then I wouldn't be here right now.
Well, you don't think the solution is just to be vegan?
No,
not everybody can be.
Not everybody
vegan.
wants to or should be vegan.
Why shouldn't they?
Well, you're forcing your views on somebody else. I'm coming here. I'm trying to make a solution.
Yeah. Do you think that the Union was right to force their views on the Confederacy during the Civil War, or do you think that was wrong of them?
Yeah, Mr. Lincoln.
That's not necessarily
that's funny.
That is pretty funny. That's not necessarily the only thing that the thing was that those wars. But I agree that was probably the main thing. But
well, either way, it constituted an enforcement of.
It did constitute an enforcement. I agree with you. But you keep on bringing up slavery. Okay.
Well, yeah.
But people,
because you're giving examples that I feel like you're not going to accept in other contexts. So it can't be that these examples, in and of themselves, are justifications for what you're what you're proposing
But
that we should do.
black people are not held at the same standard, like I said.
Yeah. So
Okay.
what's true of a black person?
And
Sorry,
a
what's
black
true of an
person
animal?
was
Which
still,
if
a black person
Alright.
back then was still held at a higher standard than a pig was.
sure. So what's well?
So
Okay.
so there you go.
Well, no. So what's true of an animal, which if true of a black? So wait, I'm guess I'm not even I'm not sure what you're trying to claim. You're saying that, the
I think
whether
he's
or
trying to
not economy justifies something is kind of dependent on.
No, we moved past the economy a couple minutes ago. What I'm talking
Okay,
about
so
now
what
is
is your
you
current-
keep
what
on
is your-
comparing you keep on comparing pigs to black people, which
Yeah,
I
and
think is
what's-
completely unfair. Because even when
What's the problem
black
with
people
that?
even when black people were consistently and treated mishappeningly, like
Mhm.
you said, with slaves, they were still held at a higher societal standard than pigs, and they were still, I guess, in society worth more. So I think that kind of comparison, when we have them both at the same time period, is unfair.
Well, I'm not saying. Wait, I'm still not sure what you're saying.
He's trying to say that, like, basically, like, even like during that time when, like, racism was still, like, prevalent, we still held blacks at a higher standard than pigs during that.
Yeah, but that's
time.
just completely like irrelevant. Like that's just completely tangential to any of the points I'm making.
No, that was exactly what
Like if I compared a man and a woman and you said like, oh, in the 1900s men and women weren't held at the same standard, that's just completely irrelevant. That doesn't show that there's anything wrong with my analogy.
Yeah, plus I think it's, like, just because an animal is less intelligent than, like, a different species, that does not necessarily mean it has no moral value whatsoever. You should, still,
Yeah, like, because it seems like you're trying to point out a problem with my analogy. I don't see what the issue is.
I should mention that, some animals have very high levels of intelligence, even ones that we can slaughter, such as pigs. A lot of the scientists believe that, like, adult pigs can be as intelligent as 3-year-olds. So, that's a very high level of intelligence for an animal, especially one that isn't able to communicate like humans are able to communicate.
Can you unmute Annoying Orange? He wants to bring up some good points, he says.
Hello, can I bring up something?
Okay.
Yeah, anybody can bring up something.
Animals.
Thanks, guys.
It's okay for animals to kill animals, right?
I don't think that they're moral. Yeah, sure. I mean, well, when you
Then
say
what's
okay,
different for us?
The thing with
sure.
animals, like lions and crocodiles and shit, they're obligate carnivores, while humans are omnivores, but we're not omnivores.
Well, and also this notion that and there's also this notion that if animals do something, then we're, by analogy, justified in doing so. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous, because you could say, animals engage in, like, cannibalism, infanticide, rape. Like, the idea that this justifies us doing these things is kind of ridiculous.
Well, it doesn't justify
All the
us doing
time.
those things, but you have to understand why animals kill animals. It's the same reason why we kill animals. It's because it's technically we are animals.
So are you saying that? Wait, so it's just very.
They kill animals to survive. You have to understand.
Mm-hmm.
If at one point, and say we just stopped eating animals, 200 years ago, 300 years, there's a chance that we will not only not be at the top of the food chain anymore, but we may be lower than them. Okay.
So is the justification for eating animals that it was at one point necessary for survival?
It is still necessary for survival.
Okay, well that's an empirical claim that I'm going to ask you for evidence for.
Science,
As for the idea that something is justified in virtue of it being required in the past, I mean, I would say that there were a lot of things that were required in the past.
That's not what I said. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, that's what I asked you, and you said yes.
I just want to know, like, what do you mean by top of the food chain? Because evolution does not work that fast, That's over.
Well, yeah, I know. I kind of sped it up, and like I said, I don't know the exact science for it.
I guess then it's just not clear to me what the justification for killing animals is.
The justification is the fact that as a society, our standard and our goal is to be the what's it called? The top of the food chain, to be the greatest race of whatever humans, not necessarily.
Why must humans be at the top of the food chain?
Because that is the goal of humans. That is why
Why
we are.
is that
that's
the
why-
goal? Wait. Why is that the goal? Why can't we be mycelium and feed off of
the way that your
decay,
brain is
black
functioned,
putrefaction, stuff
your
like
fight
that?
or
Right?
flight response.
Your fight or flight response.
to
Humans are
since
naturally
we were
dominant.
an ancient species.
You've already
Look,
contradicted
I'm
yourself.
asking a fundamental question.
So you're telling me
Hold on.
He
He's
doesn't
not finish.
care about the way that your brain functions.
Look, you're saying that we must be at the top of the food chain, right? And I'm just saying, right, what's stopping me from positing the opposite, right? That we should just be mycelium, that we should be at the bottom, the absolute bottom, and that would actually be preferable, right? So in other words, you're coming at this with a set of like moral assumptions.
How would it be preferable? How would it be preferable?
Our main goal as humans is to reproduce and continue.
Do you think we ought to do that?
The species living on.
Yes. Do you think we ought to do that?
Yes.
What's the argument for that?
What's the argument for that? What's the argument
functions? That is what you intended to do.
No. I didn't make that claim. Sorry, I didn't make that claim. I didn't make that claim.
Okay, well, what's the claim?
So do you think we should lower it down into food?
I'm not convinced of your claim.
What's to say that if we became mycelians, that other animals wouldn't attack and try and kill us, and they would just instantly assume to our societal standards? It's the same thing that if aliens came in and they wouldn't know anything about us, we cannot communicate with them.
I mean, you can ask Zyker on that, but I haven't made that claim. So I'm just asking you so if you think we ought to do what is like evolutionarily programmed in us, then I'm asking what the argument for that is.
The argument for what? Sorry.
Why ought we do things that are evolutionarily programmed in us? Why ought we be at the top of the food chain?
Because we can't go against every basic function of the human brain.
Exactly.
Wait, sorry, one at a time. What is the argument?
Because that's what we do.
It's the basic function of the human.
No, it's a basic function.
So we ought do. So I'm sorry. So the argument is, it's the. Sorry, I didn't even hear one of you guys all talked at the same time. Can I just get like one answer to that? Like one argument?
Abraham, go.
Me? Okay. We ought to do that because you can't decode what a human does and what they're meant to do. Everybody is put on here for a reason. Humans.
Yeah.
Well, you just said that you just said we ought live by the evolutionary programming. So I'm asking why
we will. We have to because that's it's.
Well, I'm asking for an ought, right? Because when you say that we.
Why must we not? Why must we not?
Well, you made the claim that we should, so I'm asking. I'm asking what the argument is for that. I haven't made any positive claim.
Because that is what we ought to do because we are humans. Animals. That's the basic answer.
You're just restating the claim.
Why must we walk? Why must we blink? Why must we run away from things that scare us?
So look. We would all agree here that it's probably like evolutionarily the case that being at the top of the food chain is like advantageous, right? Like that being in that position is like a power position, right?
Yeah, of course.
We'd all agree with this, right? The optics, but we're asking the deeper question, right?
Why ought we?
The deeper question of why are we doing this as a societal level? Really, it's the deepest question.
Because it's not worth
mass manufacturing.
Not just are we doing this,
like basically mass manufacturing murder farms for just thousands and thousands of innocent
and it's not just why are we doing it, it's why ought we do it, because that's ultimately the claim that you're making.
Because it's not worth it.
So the argument is it's not worth it, therefore we ought live by our evolutionary programming?
It's not worth it to change it.
Whoa,
okay,
that
just seems like you're restating the claim.
Look, I
just gave you my answer.
Like if we don't correct for this, then like it could have catastrophic consequences. So let's say we just continue with modern day factory farming. What do you think is going to happen to the planet? What do you think is going to happen to the health of the planet?
Like I already said, we should try and switch away from factory farming from all things, not just animals, because of the things that it's going to do to our.
So you're willing to kill like an animal with your bare hands, like. You're willing to.
Yes.
If that means survival in a critical situation.
No, I don't mean me or the animal. It's going to be that is how humans are programmed.
I mean, like to minimize potential suffering. So, like, instead of going down to the supermarket and getting meat, right? Maybe hunting is a little bit more commonplace for people in terms of eating meat.
Yeah,
for legal reasons, like it could be instantiated in the law that the production of meat is too harmful to the planet.
That can be considered a form of survival.
If you're not fortunate enough to go down to like your local Walmart and get like meat and like snacks or whatever, then you have to hunt for it. That's survival in your.
Look, I'm just saying, like in a society where like the factory farming is banned, right? You're saying you would be fine with just eating meat. You would be fine with foregoing that convenience, even at like the McDonald's. Like
if it's gonna be between.
Society said we can no longer slaughter animals. And like that's just like so you can't buy it at super anymore. I will go outside and kill a pig and have
support
that
for my family. Yeah.
If it comes between me or the pig living, it's gonna be me. Because that's my survival instinct.
Or you could just like cook certain plants and cook them that are like delicious and perfectly fine as well. If you're like a competent chef, you can put these things together. There's like no flavor that's unique to meat, right? There's no.
That is not true. That is not. That is not.
No, they've actually
tested
this. Guys. No, they've actually tested this.
Do we actually have a debate prop on the table, or are we just like hashing it?
It's more of a discussion at this point.
I mean, that's what I've been trying to figure out this whole time. It's not clear to me what the.
Wait, do we want to? Do we want to just
ways. And
try
let me
and find
explain
one certain topic to
All
debate?
right, guys, let's. Okay,
hold on. I'll let Zycron. Do you have more to say? Because I'll let you say whatever you want, and then I'll jump in once you're done.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you're.
I mean, I'm good. You can go ahead and go.
Okay, sure. So, is there like a proposition that you want to defend?
Okay, well, one of the next thing I was going to bring up, and I would still like to bring this up. My father does make food for a living. He sells food to big companies, and he makes veggie burgers. He makes actual burgers. His veggie burgers cost $2.65 per patty. His regular burgers cost 95 cents. Do you see the toll that switching to plant-based products would take on our thing to make a smaller patty as well?
Not really.
You do realize you've given me one second.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Wait. I have a very important point. The reason why it's expensive to produce veggie burgers as opposed to meat burgers is because of laws. Actually, it's because we give money to people who produce animals, right? So otherwise, it would be unprofitable. This is like common knowledge, right? The animal natural industries are just not sustainable on their own financially. They need help from the government. So that's why. In fact, if that was withdrawn, then your meat would be more expensive than the veggie burger just by natural supply and demand in the market. This is common knowledge, but I mean, I guess I have to give you that basic fact about economics that you don't know, that meat and dairy production is completely funded by the government.
Next time you jump into a debate, I would not recommend just like trying to insult the person, because I think I've been fairly respectful this entire time.
Abraham's been respectful, so let's just try.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'll say what I want.
Been like a formal debate. We joined and we were talking to
so now that you have
I'll say what I want.
Okay. Well, now that you have informed me, maybe.
Okay. Well, let's get
don't be a cunt, man. Don't be a cunt.
Yeah. Let's get this back on track. All right.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Fish, you go ahead.
Would you like to propose anything? Because I feel like I guess I'm kind of done with anything that I'd like to specifically talk about, or if anyone else would like to.
It doesn't have to be vegan based. It can be anything.
So the only thing that I'll say is the justifications I heard lead to some pretty hilarious reductios, and if you don't want to accept them, then they're just going to entail a contradiction. So the idea that society is the justification for eating animals, when obviously we wouldn't hold society as a justification for eating humans, that leads to the contradiction that society does and does not, or sorry, is and is not a justification for a given action.
Well, I believe I did say that if I did perhaps live in a society where I have no prior knowledge to this society that I do live in as of now.
Well, I'm asking what I'm not asking like what you would think in that society. I'm asking what you think now. Do you think it would be wrong to do in that society? Or like if I lived in that society, do you think it would be wrong of me to eat people?
If your societal standards said that was okay, then I couldn't hold it against you, no.
Okay. Do you think that like female genital mutilation is okay if a society thinks it's okay?
I wouldn't. That's a completely different.
What you're trying to do is you're trying to get us to say something that is.
Yeah, you're trying to get us to say that we're okay.
Well, that's no. That is a What's wrong with the hypothetical? There's nothing wrong with that.
But the thing is, we're not talking about we're talking about right now in our world, in our society.
If we were in that society, in those societal standards.
I'm not asking if you were in that society. I'm asking what you think of that society.
One at a time.
Okay, so it's very.
That's just a different world. That's just a different world.
That's not relevant.
I don't have a right. I don't have a right to have an opinion. I don't live in that world.
Oh, okay. So do you think you don't have a right? Do you think you have a right to an opinion about societies that you don't currently live in?
No, that's what I just said.
Then why would it be different here? Then why would it be different in my hypothetical?
Because we live in this society.
No, the thing is,
I'm asking. Okay, but you don't live in, for example, Saudi Arabian society. Do you think you have a right to opinion there?
No, that's why I've never said anything against.
Yeah, that's
okay, great. So if Saudi Arabia decides that women shouldn't be allowed to drive, or if female genital mutilation is okay, or
we don't have anything
beating your wife is okay,
obviously
that's okay.
I think that's awful, but I don't.
Oh, okay. So society in and of itself is not a justification for any action.
I have the right to have an opinion on it.
Yeah, but I don't have the right to change it.
I should be able to speak out against it. I should be able to speak out against it.
Great.
I have no place speaking out against it because that's not my way of life.
I'll answer your question right now. I'll answer your question right now.
So just to be clear, wait, hold on. Just the other guy. To be clear, you don't think you have a right to speak. You don't think that you ought to speak out against like wife beating in Saudi Arabia or in Russia or concentration camps of Muslims in China because you don't live in those societies?
When I was talking about the other thing.
Wait, hold on. Can I just get an answer to that question?
Can I say something?
I said yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that I would speak out against it because I don't live there. It doesn't do anything to me.
Do you think that other people who don't live there
if they, as a society, decide that it's wrong, they will do something to change it. I can't do anything.
If they decide it was, but let me answer your question from my point of view. Okay, okay, when we were talking about the hypothetical society in which we ate black people and we touched women inappropriate, which okay, if you can bring up that hypothetical, even though it is just going to try and make us look bad. Okay, that I was thinking about as an entire world did that where they had no idea a way that it could work without that. Okay, they had no idea a way that it could work without that. Now, in Saudi Arabia and today, there is many people at the head of that society that know that there is many other ways to go against that, and many other Muslims that live life without having done any of those things. So to compare that is kind of unfair because in your hypothetical society, every single person killed black people. Every single person in our society.
That's not entailed by the hypothetical.
Is what your hypothetical
That's not entailed by the hypothetical.
That is exactly what you're saying.
Every single person.
Okay, I am telling you that is not entailed. Wait. Sorry. Can I have an argument for why my hypothetical entails that every person is killing black people? Why couldn't it just be a majority? Why couldn't it just be a large number?
Okay. Well, when I say I will retract saying replace everyone with a majority. Okay, it still means the same thing. Okay, they have yet to figure out a great way in which the entire world could go vegan. It would just not work. Many things.
Wait. What's the argument for that?
No, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying in Saudi Arabia they know that there is a different way than beating your wife and killing black people. Okay, or whatever they do in Saudi Arabia.
I mean, a lot of them are Muslim, and a lot of them think if they don't follow the Quran, that they're going to go to hell.
Yeah, well, he just moved on to a different point. Didn't he just make two different points?
But they've said, but like I said, there's many Muslims who don't
you just gish gallop though. You used
no. What he's saying is my analogy doesn't hold because.
I think that going to an analogy in the first place is unfair because
welcome to philosophy.
Look, he just said that if we switched over to veganism, that would be unsustainable. But he didn't even.
What he's saying is that veganism, there isn't a way for everyone to go vegan.
The hypothetical.
Yeah, because I was bringing it back to the hypothetical.
So he's saying that. I understand what he's saying. He's saying that there isn't a way for everyone to go vegan, but there is a way for people to stop beating their wife in Saudi Arabia, for instance. Yeah,
exactly.
Whoa, what did I just walk back into?
Should we fill in annoying?
My question is just going to be fine. So my question then is just going to be, what's the argument for why we can't be vegan?
We can't be vegan. I can't be vegan because guess what? In my only argument, and guess what? This is the only argument that at the end of the day really matters. Is no one wants to. Not a lot of people. The majority of the population.
In that case, then I'm gonna say that in Saudi Arabia, it's not possible for them to not be white because nobody wants to.
Into their mic.
Okay, then that's what I said. We already agreed to the fact that they don't have that their societal standards is not something that I can speak on, and since a majority of their population does not want to, it will not get fixed. Same reason that
seems like what you're saying is.
But you're making a stronger claim. You're saying that that's ethical. Because they don't want to.
I'm not saying it's ethical.
Oh, okay. So
I don't think killing animals is ethical, but I think it's necessary. I think it's necessary. I've already
and you take
necessary. Necessary for conformity. Necessary.
But no. You just take necessary. You just take necessary to be. I want to do it.
Yeah, and that means that it's as
so
necessary to
you think
society.
that it's acceptable?
No, necessary means
Wait,
you
wait,
need
wait.
to do it.
Can you-
It's a
can you
survival
define it?
instinct.
No,
Wait,
that is
can you
not what
define
we
it?
just established. That is not what we just established. Because
Relax.
I asked, why do we need to go
necessary?
vegan? Right.
Fine,
so
okay,
what I
fine,
asked
fine,
is,
fine.
Can you ask him to define his?
I will.
I will
necessary.
change.
I
I will
just-
change my word of
he
necessary.
did
I will
define
change my
necessary.
word of necessary.
Okay, sure. So what's the
Instead
definition
of
of necessary?
let's just go with well, I'll use a sentence then to describe how I was feeling. It would be preferred. It would be
Preferred.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and then I would just say that the people in Saudi Arabia prefer to beat.
And guess what? Because of the fact that it's preferred, it will not get changed unless they are taken over or unless for some reason.
And furthermore,
they're
it's
dictated,
ethical on
or
your view.
Allah comes down and says to them,
Yeah.
"Listen, guys, come on, beating your wife, really?
And
You know what
that's
I mean?
ethical
Like,
on your view.
It might not be ethical, but we don't know if he actually.
Well,
values
no, because I asked.
acting in.
I asked.
Like,
Well, no, because I asked what
it could honestly be the case. He doesn't care. He's a moral hypocrite. He might actually not.
Oh
care.
well, then there's nothing wrong with me being a moral hypocrite against him, right? Like I could just say or if like for instance if a group of like female legislators wanted to pass a law that like made men second-class citizens, he can't object to that, even if there's not a consistent.
So Abraham, can I just ask a quick question to him? So Abraham, like. Bro, I've been listening. I just I actually want to hear you out here. So
yeah, and I respect that. Thank you.
So, are you comfortable? Are you a person who would say like you would prefer to act in line with your own moral system?
Well, yeah, I guess I hold my moral system
within
pretty
reason,
high to myself.
Right? Within reason. So I can say I want to protect the environment, but still drive a car. I kind of have to do that, right?
Exactly.
It's like actually, I can't like survive. Like I can't like go to work and all that without that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I can like buy a T-shirt that's made in China. It's like a little bit outside my moral like comfort zone, But something like far outside, like you're definitely it's above a threshold, like rape or murder, etc.
Of course.
There's a certain threshold that you're like actually comfortable morally, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you wouldn't say it's like you wouldn't want it to be universalized where like people are just cool, being like to that threshold, like moral hypocrites, just being able to do whatever the fuck, right?
Oh, sorry, I have to turn off like text to speech or whatever. I just heard that. Can you repeat the last part?
Yeah, so you would prefer if it were universalized, if people did act in line with their morals, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'd say you act in line. Well, I know where you're going with this, and you're gonna say that if you prefer to act in line with their morals, and you say, well, your moral is that it's ethically wrong to kill animals.
I don't even know why you're saying yes to this at all, because before you were talking about impulses and evolution and like naturalism, and now you're talking about reason,
logic. It depends on his morals, though. Like,
I think that
you actually might be consistent. Like, I actually, we can find.
I think he is consistent. I just think he seems to be really reluctant to like bite the bullet of where his ethical position leads.
Okay,
right.
My ethical position is I think yes, I don't like the fact that animals are getting killed and that's slaughtered in unethical ways and that they're bred for that. I think that's awful, especially when I plan to go to school, I would like to do something that may involve rehabilitating animals. Okay, so obviously I don't like that. So that's one of my moral
you
things.
do value animals, man. Like I honestly like I respect that. Like I don't know if you know like really this is just a little. I want to go back to my point before. But like, have you actually seen slaughter footage?
No, I haven't. And to the point, I wouldn't like to do that. Like, as I play football and I care about my body a lot. And while researching nutrition for myself, I have learned a lot about the fact that meat has on your body, the many positive things that it has on your body, and that's one thing that is important to me.
Yeah, what about the many negatives? What about the many negatives as well? Do you know?
Well, he might not even have seen the data. Like,
Fidel Castro wants to be unmuted.
Okay, well,
how does he not know about the carcinogen?
Okay. Let me
hold on, Zychron. Let Evoke press this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if you know like what products contain like dietary cholesterol. Like, could you name which products contain cholesterol?
Well, cholesterol is just a more red meat thing.
Eggs.
Eggs. Well, eggs. dairy, meat. These are only present in animal products.
Okay, well,
and we're off tangent.
But in eggs' defense, it is delicious.
Eggs are delicious.
Yeah, like I actually don't contend that and eggs taste good. It's really just all the fat, in those products.
Oh no, I completely agree. Really. Like I eat them. One of the positive things though, it's like kind of a double-edged sword with eggs because it does have some omega-3s, which is nice for your brain function. So it's kind of like a trade-off. Like you could look at it like that. Like this is some fatty cholesterol shit that's gonna clog my arteries, but
you're saying that there's like high cholesterol and all
I'm
these
getting
things,
some positives,
but like.
I'm saying
that's
like
what
eggs,
people eat to be healthy.
For real guys, nobody had ever told me eggs were like should never be consumed outside of a survival situation before. That's how unhealthy I take them to be. If you're actually eating them for health, I would seriously. I can show you some data afterward. If you actually
eggs are like an insane source of protein and as
well. We can go there.
Well, protein isn't good for you. Protein can lower your life expectancy like drastically. Higher
great for people like us
throughout your lifetime.
Yeah, especially
actually correlates with a lower life expectancy overall. Dude, are you incapable of listening?
Relax. You have to understand where we are. We're coming in here.
We've talked for like 5 minutes, and I was just saying that protein is good for me as an
Abraham is actually responding to my questions. Like to be fair, Abraham, you are being pretty good faith.
Thank you.
Normally trolls will come into the Discords and be like, "Wait, these guys are kind of chill." Like some of them, I just want to hear you out, like because we actually genuinely, care about this issue. So like we can talk the health, afterwards. It's just like, look, I want to drag it back to ethics first, and maybe look, I've conceded debates and shit before. It's not hard to say maybe the vegans might be right, but like if you're gonna just say like no, there's no way I'm gonna say in front of my friends that the vegans are right, like then like that's like where like it's gonna lead to like problems of like
no, I have no problem
logically. Right. Yeah. So currently, do you think your view is do you think your view is consistent? Right. Like
I think that consistently. Yeah, I think that consistently, I am okay with eating meat. I think I don't know. I think that
we can find out. We can find out. So like, what if I could show you that it's not? Like, what would you say?
How would you propose showing me that my view is?
So I'll show you right now. So like, and like no hard feelings. Like literally, I've had people say like absolutely like insane things to me on this. You sound reasonable, so I just want to see where your view actually goes.
Okay.
So, we're gonna ask like currently your justification for paying for animal products and having animals killed. There's something about animals that justifies the treatment that's different than humans, right? And I'm not comparing humans to animals, right? I'm not doing that. I'm just comparing. There's a justification that's like something. You said something about food chain and other stuff, right?
Yeah, I think you also have to understand that I am coming in here completely blind to a Discord full of people.
I'm not gonna lie. Meat eating, justifying the ethics of meat eating, I wouldn't want to do it. It's extremely difficult. So
yeah,
I want to be nice to you here and just show you if you do actually value like acting in line with your morals. You like honestly, I take it to be the case that your ethics actually align with veganism. And I just want to show you it right now, and whatever you do with that, like it's on you. Like if you tell me you do value, acting in line with your morals, and your view, if it's like really to an extreme threshold to buy meat, unnecessarily. Like again, like if I'm in a survival situation, I would eat meat, but currently I can just go to the store and buy some beans, tofu, legumes, like etc. Instead of opting into something I feel is moral. I don't see any, reason to even once a month, whatever, even if meat tastes good and all that, like I don't see any reason to, think of myself as a bad person. Because, when we do that, when we walk outside of our moral comfort zone, you have to think of yourself as a bad person or immoral. I don't know. I would call it bad, but other people might say something different. So, is there anything else other than food chain on your view? Like, is it animals?
Well, I guess one thing that I'd like to preface before we go into this is that although I guess it is one of my morals to not treat these animals' cruelty. I don't know what you would call it, an ethic, a moral, or a higher standard for myself. I guess I hold myself to a higher standard than animals, and also my dreams and things that I hope to accomplish in my life. And one of the things I hope to accomplish in my life is I would like to have my, I know this is going to sound kind of douchey, but I'd like to be a Division I athlete, and to do that I have to be my highest weight, I have to be my peak physical condition, and to do some of those things I have to eat meat. Okay, so that's one thing that I hold higher than I guess I hold myself in how I live my life.
How many calories do you eat right now?
In a day?
Yeah.
3,200. It's my goal every single day. 3,300.
And you know how many grams of protein, etc. Do you plug it into Chronometer?
I do have my macros, yeah. Well, it's not the same every single day because I am 14 years old, but
yeah. I can absolutely assure you that you can actually hit those on a.
It's not, but they're not the same. Plant-based protein is not the same as.
I don't know where you got that. I don't know where you got that belief, but I would challenge that belief. It's strange that people have that thought. They just think like meat's better. It's more, yes, it's more calories.
And in order to eat 3,300 calories of plant-based and vegan food, it would be a lot more food. It would be a lot more time. It's something that I don't have available to me, and that's another reason.
I mean, I put on weight on a plant-based diet. I put on like 40 pounds when I went vegan.
It's not something that I have available to me. My entire family is vegan. I don't control. We
can discuss maybe that later. I do want to pull it back to this justification.
Okay. Yeah.
We can move on in the conversation. I'm absolutely happy to discuss that. I just want to see if you said your justification currently for eating meat is, your morals are consistent here. So we'll find out. And if it's not, then we'll move on in the conversation. But I would take that to be, a contradiction. If you have a contradiction in your morals, some people really care about that. Some people do. Some people might be like, I'll live my whole life and be a hypocrite and look back on my life and be like, I was a hypocrite. I'm fine with it. I'm personally extremely uncomfortable by that. But I don't know about you, man. Like, so it's food chain. Is it something else like, calories or taste or something?
No, I get it is. It's taste. It's calories. It's the fact that I don't want to stop eating meat.
It has to not be true of humans. So like humans presumably are actually calorie dense if we were to eat them. So I'll just remove that as a justification. But taste, yeah, that could be a justification, right?
It's easier.
That seems to just branch off from selfishness, which would be my justification for eating meat, which is just I'm a scoundrel, right? Like,
hang on, let him. I know it's wrong, but I'll let you can jump in after he's done.
It is selfish. Yeah, so it's selfish that
I just want to characterize your view fairly. So currently, the justification is food chain and taste. Is there anything else you can think of, or is that a fair characterization of your current view right now?
No, it's not just taste. It's the fact that I think that, well, what you're proposing is that everybody should be vegan. Would you say so?
That'd be nice. I don't know if I'm saying that right now.
But what I'm saying is that if you want to be vegan, fine. If I don't want to be vegan, fine. I think that it's not. I think that at the end of the day, it's something that we can't change because of the fact of the amount of.
We can discuss that. I do want to get your moral view on the table first.
Humans can go plant-based. Humans can go plant-based, even as a civilization, as made evident by certain tribes that eat completely plant-based.
But a tribe
and actually have on certain margins better health than
a tribe isn't the United States.
I'll hand the conversation off to you, Zachron, after. I just want to see if look, I don't mean to call you out right now, Abraham, but I do want you to actually answer and think about it. You could take a second.
Okay.
Is it really? I eat, bacon and steak because that's just the natural food chain, and it's, it tastes good. Is there anything else, or is that it right now?
I think that I would say that I eat bacon and I eat steak because first of all, I can. First of all, I like the taste of it. It is something that is easily accessible. It's something that it's not necessarily bacon, but steak, especially when proposed and cooked correctly, it is good for me. Okay, it's much better than eating some processed food.
I'll just grant that because like I would actually contend that, but I'll just grant that for now. I take it to be that.
Well, we also have different goals.
Shouldn't be consumed.
We have different goals.
That's cool. Nutrition. I understand that. That.
And it's in the if that I can and I like it are
yeah. So we like it. Okay. So basically, like taste. Anyway, so a fair.
But does it have to be a moral thing? Does it have to be a moral and ethical thing, or can it just be the fact that society?
The debate prop currently that I would like to argue for, and that you would presumably be arguing against, is unnecessary animal slaughter is unethical. So
that's the thing, though. Evoke. It doesn't sound like he wants to justify it morally, though. It sounds like he's trying to justify it through a sociological lens.
Well, I mean,
it sounds like he's trying to say.
I'm literally justifying it by the fact that I would like to, and I don't think that it's fair to tell me to switch from it.
Honestly, I think you're saying like, I mean, here's what I've heard is that you're 14 and you're kind of unconsciously doing what humans are programmed to do, which is to kind of conform to their social environment to survive.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, yeah, but
so
it's
that
more
is
of a
the
sociological perspective than
a
scientific or logical one.
I would agree with you. I have agreed with you, Evoke, in saying that it is ethically wrong and morally wrong.
That would be conceding the debate prop. So are you sure you want to like? That would be actually saying
but that was never okay. I agree with that since the very beginning, saying that it is ethically wrong. But I'm saying, but what I'm saying is that is simply not enough for me to stop.
Right. So hang on. So I understand that. Obviously, look, I'm speaking here to you to tell you to change something you've been doing from birth. That's like I have a lot on my plate here to try and push you off of this current position. So if you are just going to concede that well, look, I don't know.
Veganism really isn't a position though; it's more of a lifestyle. But yeah, I get you.
Honestly, like. If you're saying
it's really more aptly, it's a lifestyle.
It's definitely a position. I mean, I hold it as a position.
I mean, sure, like in some.
I need to call him.
Sorry.
So Abraham, listen, I'm trying to be nice to you here, but like when you say like I do concede that debate prop, but then you say like I did say that food chain taste and convenience, justifies, in my view, buying meat. So. You're saying there are reasons, and then you're saying like no, it's actually there's no reason in my view that it's because look, is there a reason or is there not?
I'm giving you the simple reason is I really just like I said, although I think that it's unethical wrong, and I think that if a society there's a way to kind of meet both needs and meet meat.
So there's no traits true of animals that would justify the treatment ethically. You just know it's wrong, but we just want to eat meat, right?
Yeah, and that's unfortunately
spot on.
Okay, so
exactly, spot on.
Damn straight.
So currently your view actually aligns with veganism. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, like you said, okay, ethically, I said that if there is a way to reach the fact or to make it, I guess, more ethical, and like you said, well, you can't make. How can you make killing people or killing things and eating?
Thank you for being honest. That is extremely honest. And now I talk to a lot of people who would say they would bullshit around the point. I've talked to many people on this, and they would bullshit around that point. Now all I gotta do is show you that plant-based is healthier, and you'd be a better athlete. That's literally all I'd have to show you. And you may actually.
Sorry to interrupt. I'll be back in a minute. Yeah. I gotta go take my pizza out of the oven.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so like.
I'm not even sure that I believe that, but I mean, based on everything I've seen, I've looked in a little bit to nutrition. I'm not like an expert or anything. Like I'm by far a novice and shit, but I don't know. It seems like the data kind of goes both ways a lot of times.
It does go both ways. Honest. And I think
and it seems like people don't really acknowledge that. It's I'm not going to say here that, for sure it's better to eat carnivore, but I mean, let's not be honest. Let's not just say that like there's a definitive kind of rule book on games
here.
Run
through some of the data.
Well, I think it's best to have a little bit of both.
Yeah, it's best to have a little bit of both. Exactly. My diet does not only consist. I don't go to pigs and bite it, and then there you go. That's breakfast. Hang on. What I as a human,
you see what I posted here? Who said evidence can go both ways?
Like Quran.
Where'd you post it?
He sent it.
Just to be clear, I was saying that like the evidence tends to go both ways. There tends to be studies
no idea
on
what
either
I'm
end.
looking at here.
Right.
I'm saying the exact opposite claim
off,
about
I just
the
want to
same
establish if we're gonna actually say like there's a level of evidence that should be taken over another. This is just this is what the scientific evidence hierarchy. So like systematic reviews at the top. That's actually going to be like reviews on a given topic, and it's just a compilation of like all the data on a given topic, just to see where the evidence points. It's a far more accurate way of deciding, scientifically over like one person's opinion right at the bottom.
Listen, I'm a big numbers guy, just like everyone else, but numbers numbers in science at the end all means all, especially when it comes to different, like when this is just generalizing health as a total. And I guess in this case, health could be considered living longer, could be considered running faster, could be considered jumping higher.
So in your view, what is it? In your view,
in my view, I as a football player, as an athlete, all the top athletes, none of them are vegetarian, none of them are vegan, not a single one. Okay. Oh, maybe. Okay. Like I said, sorry. Maybe. Maybe
statistically, probably most of them eat
very
animals.
large majority of all of them are not nor vegan nor vegetarian. Especially, and guess what? They have like personal trainers and nutritionists that make $100,000 a year catering to them. Okay. So that's my side. So I'm seeing this, and I'm seeing, wow, these guys are living my dream life, and this is what they're doing. Okay. So nutritionally and standardly, also to the fact that I have access to my own nutritional information just by doing my own research. And from what I have found, and like I said, I don't have everything pulled up right now because I just joined here. From what I have found, it's the best way to recover, the best way to pre-workout. Actually, pre-workout's usually caffeine and other different chemicals. But the best way to recover, the best way to gain muscle, it's not vegan. When I go downstairs after workout, I said caffeine. I said the pre-workout. I give you. But after workout, I have peanut butter, which, like I said, is vegan. Okay, but I use milk because milk is a great thing for that. Y'all okay with Farmer's Eggs now?
Well, hang on. I just want to keep you to the point. You're just defining in your view what is health. Like, is it longevity? Is it
health? It's not. No, I'm not talking about.
Is it athletic performance? Like, what are you?
Athletic performance.
Okay. So
yeah, it is actually true that you can build muscle more easily on a meat-eating diet because of the nature of meat. That is actually true.
More calorie dense. Like, I'm not contending that meat's not.
It's easier to build muscle on meat.
Much easier, much healthier.
Period.
So I can still hit my maintenance calories pretty easy, and it just takes like a little extra,
Look, no one would dispute in the chat. I think even the guy who eats meat wouldn't dispute that vegans are probably like healthier on a logistical level and probably last longer. But basically, he's saying that meat is such a fucking convenience and a calorie dump and a protein dump that it's just like, yep, I want to build muscle really quick, and I don't really want to work that hard. And I want to eat like shit. It's not,
okay,
and I want to have good
nothing
taste
to do with
working
hard. It has nothing to do with working hard. I would consider myself working to a very hard level.
You could
especially
still work
really
hard.
Yes, to the pinnacle. You never slack off, I'm sure.
Okay, listen, I don't know why you're trying to
that's a little more personal.
Yeah,
I wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning every single day. I have to eat more than I'm naturally used to consider a dream that I'm pushing for. Okay, and to be sitting
You're
here
14 years old, so
as a Discord admin trying to make fun of me. Okay,
so
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Pretty fair. Abraham has been pretty honest. Like,
yeah,
if you're actually gonna just openly admit to like moral hypocrisy in the debate, that's fine, dude. Like, that's the smartest thing you actually can say. Because I'm not even gonna lie, I wouldn't want to justify the ethics of meat eating. It's in my view impossible, right? It's
not really that hard though.
To justify.
You want to try, Zycron?
You want to? Yeah.
It's really easy.
You can justify it.
I like it and selfish reasons.
We'll have to.
I'm a scoundrel,
we'll have to do this. We'll have to do
Just
this.
Be honest.
Let these guys talk right now.
I mean, look, I like the act of eating meat, but I would actually. They kind of approach an argument that I would use, which is that kind of society has yet to adopt it, and that I think it's a broad societal conscious shift that's going to need to be made And it's kind of outside of my control, like what society and more broadly what they do about the factory.
That's just a descriptive it really claim, is. Like veganism is a prescriptive claim.
Or sure.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. Look, outside of, if we're gonna actually be consistent, I mean, if someone just says they don't care about hypocrisy, that surely they wouldn't want that view to be universalized. Like, that would justify anyone doing anything just because, like, fuck it.
Sure. I mean,
I'm getting an idea of what he actually values.
Well, I guess my morals are that I would obviously not like things to be unethically produced, but that doesn't mean that's society's morals.
Well, I don't care. I mean,
you need to hold yourself to a separate standard by definition because you are existing within yourself, right?
I do.
So I'd say that's like maybe that's how you could separate that one.
This is just not the biggest issue on my mind, as if animals are. That's not something I think about on a daily basis when I'm consuming food.
But why isn't it?
Because it doesn't really matter to me.
I'm genuinely curious though because
no, I'm being 100%.
I eat meat all the time. I eat meat all the time, dude, and like I think about what they potentially went through to be on that plate. Like I don't understand why that's difficult for most people.
It's easier not to.
It's easier not to. Wait. Are you saying it's easier not to because it's difficult to engage with those things?
Yeah, I don't like thinking about that. Neither is my mom.
Why don't you like thinking about that?
Because I don't really like it, but I'm just still gonna do it because
because it's wrong?
Yeah, I've admitted that. I've admitted to that multiple times.
Jesus. So when they put chicken so close together in these like little tiny cages that they,
it's awful, but it tastes so good.
And like it's all. I agree, man. Tyson chicken is so good.
Can I just say something?
Oh man, fuck God damn, for those little chicken breasts.
Well, like saying something tastes good could. That's not really a moral claim. That's not like
no. It's just a descriptive claim of the chicken.
Yeah. Same thing. It's like they're like, oh, Chick-fil-A hates gay people. Let's not go to Chick-fil-A. I'm like, it tastes good. It doesn't matter to me.
I mean, I've never been to say that about a lot of things.
Yeah, and the same thing, like when you said buying a T-shirt,
their gay ban or whatever, right? I mean, so they were kind of like, yeah, let the gays dollar run through our store, please.
Yeah, well,
so I don't even think that.
I don't think they ever banned gay people from Chick-fil-A.
They did.
Illegal.
No, they actually did.
Basically,
you're
so illegal.
That was a PR thing.
Wait, they did not ban gay people. What are you talking about?
They basically codified it.
No, they didn't.
I remember this. I remember.
No,
this.
They don't. It's like an.
This was from years ago. So maybe misremembering this. May be like a manufactured Mandela memory, like Mandela effect memory. But
you're misremembering.
Yeah, this is a Mandela.
There's no way they'd get away with that.
I crossed the dimensional barrier.
Yeah, that'd be good for business.
And they wouldn't get away with it like legally.
Yeah, but I think that. So wait, what is the word that you were getting? That you were. That it begins with an S. The fact that the animals can feel things.
Oh,
Senetism.
Something like that.
Sentiism.
Yeah, sentiism.
So, do you think that sentiism is the end all means all of whether or not we should preserve something?
You mean sentience?
Yeah. Okay. I'd say if something is sentient, then you should not harm it. Or
there are some.
Well,
cases,
it depends.
Right?
Yeah,
if we're getting
there are some little hypotheticals you could say where you should.
Oh, yeah, they are hypotheticals that don't match to the debate. This is what I've been saying the entire time.
Well, see, that's okay. So
let me ask you real quick, because I have no idea. Because some of you guys could agree with this. Okay, and this is gonna be a heavy hitter right here, and a lot of people are gonna be like, "Whoa, I shouldn't have said that."
I got a point after.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay, because abortion. Okay, those things are technically.
What about abortion?
Those things are considered.
No, they're not actually. Not
they are on a. They are because I just looked it up.
They are sentient at about 5 months, I believe.
Okay, so 5 months after abortions, those still happen. I think that's right.
Mm-hmm. So I think there are some cases where it's justified, but by and large, I think that after
so you see
abortion...
kind of like how it's like your morals are kind of getting crossed right there. I think that the animals.
No, sorry. What's the contradiction on my view? Do you even know what my view is?
The fact that animals are sentient.
Wait, do you think I never think? Wait, do you think I believe it's always wrong to kill animals?
Oh, you think that it's sometimes okay to kill animals?
Of course. Do you even know what my ethics are?
I mean, I just kind of assume it's what everyone else is saying. So if you'd like to inform me.
Not really.
Yeah, no.
We can talk about Fish's ethical positions if you want.
Yeah, okay, wait, so you think it's sometimes okay to kill animals?
Of course, just as I think it's sometimes okay to kill humans. Yeah, of course.
What the? Okay.
Wait, do you not?
I mean,
do you think
Osama bin Laden, Andrew? Think about this real quick.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so when is it okay to kill?
Think about this one.
Because animals did not bomb like half a city. Like
Sure. So I think an easy example is like, let's say a rabid dog is chasing you and you can shoot it. I think you have the right to shoot it. I think.
Let's talk about Harambe.
Yeah, that's
Harambe, bro. He ain't do nothing wrong.
Dicks out for Harambe.
Honestly, I'm not super familiar with that scenario.
Kid fell in the cage. They were like, "Yo!"
Yeah, how old was the child?
They hit him
2, 3.
He wasn't gonna harm the child. He was chilling with.
That's debatable.
Wait, hang on.
That's definitely would have broken that child.
I forgot what happened in the Harambe situation. Was the
kid just?
I got it. A kid fell into the gorilla cage. Harambe picked it up, and then they shot
the shit out of him.
Okay, how old was the kid? How old was
like 3 or 4, maybe 2.
Yeah, it's probably unjustified. Yeah, I think it's probably unjustified to shoot the gorilla.
Yeah. That's most of the world thought that.
They sniped the shit out of them.
They sniped the shit out of that gorilla.
Yeah,
I think they should have tranked it. Maybe.
Yeah, they should have tranked.
I mean, I think that's a hilarious position, given that the kid was in substantially more danger than like a chicken or a pig or a cow poses.
Okay, Harambe.
Yeah, but Harambe's the man.
Gorilla should have. No,
I mean, what I would want to know is can anybody justify that ethically, opposing the killing of Harambe?
No. We're kind of making more of a joke. Okay.
Sure. But yeah, that's fine.
So kid climbs into gorilla exhibit, right?
Yeah.
Gorilla does nothing wrong.
Gorilla
Finally,
does
something
nothing wrong. They shoot gorilla. Gorilla is dead.
Yep.
Not cool.
Not cool.
After they capture the gorilla.
They did not capture the. Oh,
it's in a cage. Yeah, I was just saying.
I said Mike Tyson.
Yeah. I think we've established that we think that the Harambe killing was wrong, right?
Yeah, we're all the same on this Discord.
Okay, so Harambe killed the kid. It was his fault.
Yeah, I think we should move on to the next talking point.
Okay, wait. I have a quick question. So, like, what if I don't know like anything about like killing an animal and like what good animal meat is and when to kill it, but if an animal dies of natural causes and we eat it, do you think that's fine?
I don't see a problem.
That's fine. That's fine.
I do.
No, but the meat.
You wouldn't want to eat.
The meat's still good at that point.
That's hazy because we don't.
I assume when you're asking me if I have like an ethical problem with it, and I wouldn't.
Look, if your dog, dogs can have aneurysms. You fucking listen. Dogs can have aneurysms.
No,
they can have strokes. They can have heart attacks. They can still be. You know what I'm saying?
Better not have an aneurysm.
Yeah,
dogs can die of natural causes, right?
Yeah, and you can still eat them after, just like you could.
I'm not eating my dog.
This concept, this basic concept, that, like animals.
I am not eating my dog.
Stuff like that.
What's wrong with eating a dog?
Dogs dope as shit. Pigs ain't.
What if I want to eat dogs? Well, what if I want to eat?
Wait, so you're telling me if your dog died, right? So you're telling me that like that could be the bombest meat that you ever had, right? Like little scuffle
I ain't fucking.
How good are we talking?
This is what I like about you, like.
How good are we talking?
All the kibble you've been feeding him, okay?
How good we talking?
You're gonna let that meat go to waste? You're gonna just bury him in the ground? You're gonna allow maggots to
big
eat that?
Difference between
I never let protein go to waste.
Difference between dogs and difference between pigs.
Listen, if you don't want to skin,
you ain't ever see Big D. You ain't never see Big D.
Let him speak.
He falls over dead.
Okay, I know what you're trying to say.
I don't know what to tell you.
It completely conflicts the fact that keeping dogs and not wanting to eat dogs, okay? And I get that. But like I said, I've already said my morals are fucked up in this situation and ethics are well, okay? And the simple thing
what you're trying to say is
that I don't really care.
What you're trying to say is you're trying to concede the argument and say that you're really not consistent.
I've already said that like multiple times, dude. I've already said that I don't.
So if you're admitting that you're not trying to make establish a coherent argument, then it's incoherent. Then we might as well be listening to schizophrenic babble.
What the?
He just called you schizophrenic, yo. That's messed up.
This kid definitely had some sort of power. Why do you keep on coming at me? I don't get it. Second of all, and I get it. I've already.
That's just Zychron. Don't take it personally. He does the same thing.
The only reason.
Dude, we're just he's not an admin. We were having a nice conversation with Tact, who was educating us about some of these things, and then it just turned into this.
So, like the only reason that I can give you, and I stand by this reason, and I think every person that does eat meat, is the simple fact that we want to, and that I don't really care about changing my ways because it's not the most important thing to me.
Yeah, you do realize but if I want to eat a person, that's not really a good justification.
Look! What you've just said though is that let's not move on.
Isn't that illegal though?
You just said that you're
that's illegal.
That's not
legal. It's legal.
Well, that's not
relevant. You're saying that you think. Wait, you're saying that you think and feel one way, but you act in another. Like you're somebody who is not to be trusted. You're somebody who doesn't accurately report what they're actually.
Please don't trust me. Don't trust me. No, I don't care.
I mean, I'm serious.
I've already said this. I've already said I don't care, and that's the other thing. And the other day is that you will never.
So it's funny. It's funny that you don't care. Guys,
relax. Okay, I'll let it vote Scott because
I gotta go. I just want to say one thing. Like, can I just send you like a trailer to like a documentary? It's not on animals. Not even on animals.
Okay. I will be 100% down. Okay,
it's the Avengers Endgame trailer.
It's
never gonna give you.
Seriously, this doc is fucking really good. Like it's actually really a good watch. Whether or not you care about like plant-based or not, like just watch the trailer.
I will respect that.
I'll post in general too.
Okay, and then the last thing. Okay, this is the last thing I say because I think all of us want to go. In this Discord call, you will never convince me to the fact that I should eat animals and not eat animals. I should not eat animals, and then I should only eat plants. Okay, that'll never happen. Okay, and the same way that I can never convince you that what I'm doing is right.
Oh, you absolutely. That's where you're wrong. No. Hold on, because you just made an assumption.
I think we had
I'm not so.
It was a fun time. I had a great time.
Wait, hold on.
Hey, wait, hold on.
Stop. Orange, because you just said something about me that isn't true. I'm not intellectually dishonest enough to hold a position, regardless of the arguments that have been presented.
Hold on a second. Fish, hold on a second. Abraham, are you the one who was debating against the vegan position?
Fish is dope.
Yeah, Abraham is the one that said
I'm not going to convince you. We were just
hold on, y'all. Hold on. Who were the interlocutors here?
I was debating for a while. And then...
Your mic lagged. For what?
No, I heard it. I don't. Explain what an interlocker is.
Yeah, so
it was mainly
I wasn't
Theo,
debating
mainly
to try
Fish,
to convince you.
No, stop talking. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right.
Who are the people debating?
All right, everybody, shut up. Guys, come on. Okay, one at a time. All right.
Yeah, who's debating here?
George.
Yo,
so
can you step in and just like mute whoever keeps over talking? Because I just want to know who debated real quick.
It was Abraham and Evoke. Abraham and Evoke, I think.
I get, but Evoke already left, so I guess it would be Abraham and like, what's the name?
Fish. Fish is dope.
Fish.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham, were you saying that you had this debate? Were you saying that you had this debate knowing that it was like impossible to convince you? So there was not even a way to convince you otherwise?
No, it was okay. The
debate was on the justification of killing animals and not trying to convince you to switch to a vegan diet.
Isn't true though, right? Because like anybody could be properly motivated to do something. Like let's say that I like kidnapped your whole fucking family.
Kidnapped my family.
I mean, he's got a point.
Yeah, right? Like,
he's got a point.
I would have an actual.
I have no reason. Let's say I did that, and I was like, you have to go vegan, or else I'll kill them all.
Wait, Zychron, let the Joy finish. He was saying something.
Yeah, let
that has nothing to do with us debating. Like,
yeah, I have no
reason.
Okay, everybody,
learn something.
What he was trying to say is that no matter what you say, he's not gonna like end this call and go vegan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And what I was just saying is that you falsely assumed that the reverse was true of me, right? I'm not intellectually dishonest enough to stick to a position regardless of how good the arguments are.
I think if you're in a Discord,
I got you, Fish.
If you're in a Discord channel devoted to this kind of stuff, I don't think that you're gonna change after a couple 15-year-olds come in here and talk about it.
Well, if you had good arguments, why would that matter? If you have, well, hold on. Wait, why does it matter your age?
Can you if you have good arguments, you have good arguments.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next person that interrupts somebody's getting.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry,
look.
Dude, I'm leaving in a minute anyway.
Look, I don't think it matters. Like if someone's like 15 when it comes to discourse, right? I'm pretty sure, right, that if someone's arguing in good faith and you just bring a better position. I mean, why wouldn't you want to change your position? I mean, that's just
okay. Let me just say, I'm a big fan of I'm very independent, so I'm a big fan of people trying to take on the other side of things. That being said, in this situation, I think that this personally, to me, okay, so I assumed wrong, is that I don't think that this is something that I would change because this is something I've already made up my mind on. There's no real way for me that I've seen to change it, and no one's proposed a solid way to me that would change my mind. Okay, I haven't heard anyone
but
here.
You just said
really
that you're not even open to having your mind changed.
Yeah, how?
No. Okay, I shouldn't have said I have my mind open. I said that it wasn't changed. Okay, and we're gonna leave soon. So, okay, and it wasn't changed. No one said anything. The closest one was Evoke, and Evoke actually gave some.
Well, Abraham, real quick. Sorry,
but
Abraham, I just want to ask you a quick one. What was like the last exchange between the two of you? Because I want to hear it from you since you're the non-vegan.
We were talking. We were talking about plant-based diets because I think I consider nutrition a pretty important part, and he was saying that it's healthier, and I still disagree with him, and it didn't really give me anything, but I do agree, but he did convince me to the fact that although it was not necessarily healthier, it could be used interchangeably.
Now, when you say interchangeably, do you mean that as healthy?
As healthy. He means as healthy, and you could get the same amount of performance,
but with a lot harder work, and not as worth it to me. Like it's a lot more worth it to be eating meat because it's a a lot easier.
Like worst comes to worst, you could swap.
No, our discussions today have been all over the place.
We're just gonna branch from topic to topic.
It didn't really start with one thing. It went from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing.
It was not a formal debate. It was more of a conversation.
But it was very enlightening.
One topic, and then it wasn't one topic, one side debates.
I have definitely
states their case, but
exactly. I typically don't like formal debates
to the vegan world.
Formal debates are very one-sided in most things. Like whoever defending it is going to be able to choose their thing and do it a lot easier. But like I said,
that's the goal, right? There's two people making claims, right?
That is debate is So like I said, I'm very big on being able to change your mind in America, but I think that in America, both sides make sense to me. And I think that, like I said, sorry, but I think
in the world,
in the world, both sides make sense to me. But here, I wasn't really convinced.
I'm going to assume, though, Abraham, that the conversation probably started around ethics, and then it ended up at health, because you had a contention that even if you were right about the ethics, there's the health matters that matter to me. Is that how that happened?
Yeah, pretty smart guy. Yeah.
Well, how did you deal with the ethics argument?
I just said it. I held myself to a higher standard than the animals.
Well, yeah, but what does that have to do with anything? What was Fish arguing, or Evoke? What were they arguing?
Like we acknowledge that it's kind of scummy.
I agree that it's against my ethics to eat these animals. Okay, but I think that but it's against my ethics. But I have a higher ethic and a higher moral, which is myself. And I don't know if it's considered an ethic or moral, but you get my point.
When you say a higher ethic, do you mean like your self-preservation?
Yeah, self-preservation mentally and physically. And mentally and physically, my goals are a lot more suited and a lot easier done to live a happy lifestyle, to be happy, to be healthy by eating meat.
Wait, but
I feel
how
like
do you know?
He only really
applies
the selfish principle in terms
of that you would like.
I do right now, and I'm
like fall into a depression if you didn't eat animal products.
I never said depression, but I'd say I'd be happier. It'd be a lot easier lifestyle, especially if I didn't have enough money or a lot of room and flexibility to do it. So, I
don't know why you say if you didn't have enough money, because I mean, unless you're just buying a bunch of vegan junk food, it's generally cheaper.
Generally, but for my own goal to reach 3,200 calories, 3,300 and more some days, it would cost a lot of money. And it would be pretty boring to eat tofu legumes and beans all day.
Why do you think that?
Because I just don't like. I eat all those things right now, and I don't really like them that much. I just don't like them. I do. I have peanut butter and jelly toast all the time, but I don't want to eat it all the time. Or not, sorry, not all the time. I have it every day, but I don't want to eat it.
You think that all you would eat is just like rice and legumes?
Dude.
Wait, rice is good though.
Yeah, rice is good, but rice is good. Rice is good with chicken. Rice is good with chicken.
Rice is good with chicken and broccoli.
Yeah, rice is good with chicken and broccoli. But guess what? Rice and broccoli. If my dad was like, "Yo, dinner's ready," and I put down rice and broccoli, I'd be like, "You fucking kidding me?" I'm like, "Where's chicken? We usually eat chicken. I like chicken. Where's chicken?"
Sounds like you're pretty spoiled.
You know, I just wanted to bring this up.
My dad is a chef. My dad is a chef. So that's why.
That's awesome, and you should be able to make really, really good cheap vegan
burgers. Yeah, really, really good burgers and steak. It's really, really.
I'm sure that is exactly what he wants to do.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I wanted.
No, but wait. Oh, that's right. You said you're 15, so you don't control your diet.
I do control my diet, but I don't purchase the food. I control my diet based on the food that is being purchased for myself.
Okay, I see. But a lot of the flavor when it comes to like meat product. This is like as like a Puerto Rican who's like been eating like fucking barbecue my entire life. You know that most of the flavor just comes from like seasonings and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's how that is.
Outside of like fat.
That's how you can physically you cannot make chicken breast taste good unless you season it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like no, he's saying,
but the chicken breast.
You could season the like.
Yeah, you could. Sure, you could use the same seasonings on vegan
options. What I'm saying
I know how tofu works. I know who tofu works. You cook that.
Well, no. I'm not even talking about tofu. I'm just saying like.
Beast boy.
Like the way meat works is typically that it's like a texture that absorbs flavor, right?
Yeah, I know. Maybe. But if you season your rice the same way you season your meat, it's not going to taste the same.
No. I didn't say that, right? I mean, there's clearly a difference. But the reason I brought this up is just to say that I don't know if you eat anything with ground beef. This is just like a quick aside before I gotta go. But there's this like product called Gardein beefless grounds, and I actually just found this out recently because it was like crazy. So I was making chili downstairs. It's indistinguishable from regular chili, by the way, like 100%. Like I guarantee you. So I was making, I was like looking at the back of the packet of the chili seasoning instructions. Okay, like 1 pound, whatever.
Zychron, is that you?
Wait, hold on. No, this isn't Zychron. Hold on, give me a second. So let me just finish this real quick, please. So like the only reason I'm bringing this up is because you brought up cost concerns and stuff and taste concerns. So with like the Gardein beefless grounds, I started making my chili, right? And it calls for a pound of ground beef. It's not. I don't know how to measure things in ounces normally, so I don't know. Like I can't look at a bag, look at the amount of ounces, and go, "Oh, that's this many pounds." So I started just like dumping most of the bag into the skillet, right? I asked my roommate, "Hey, do you think this is about a pound of ground beef?" He goes, "Dude, that's way more. You can even it's like 2.5 pounds." So I'm bringing this up because the cost of that bag was like $3.60 or something like that, and I'm pretty sure like for even just like For basically like for 2 pounds of ground beef, it actually probably costs you almost twice as much. And yeah, in almost every dish that isn't like a dish where you have to mold pieces of ground beef together to form like a patty or something.
Hold on. Have you ever gone to like Dunkin' Donuts and gotten like a 2 for 2 breakfast wrap?
Wait, hold on. I wasn't done, right? Like the point is you have a ground beef option that's also like super cheap, and it's also like extremely cost efficient, and you can pretty much make it taste like anything that's ground beef aside from burgers because you can't shape it into a patty. That's all. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Just another option.
But like Taco Bell, it's like $3. You got like 4 tacos.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You could do that.
Baja Blast. Too.
Yeah, you could also just like substitute a lot of those for rice and beans, and you get a shitload of protein from the beans anyway.
You go to Chipotle. Actually, Chipotle does have some pretty good vegan options.
Yeah, Chipotle has sofritas, which are like super good. Kidding me?
Yeah, they are pretty good.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I mean, if you conceded the ethics, then I mean, honestly, that's all I really care about. If the rest of this for you is just like a matter of like ease, then I think
he's saying he's conceded the ethics, but then saying, "Well, but myself though."
Correct.
Yep.
Do you guys play Valorant?
Yeah. So the problem with that is that he's not consistently applying that self principle, and this consistently becomes the problem, which is a lack of.
Well, no, because if I said like I want to eat humans for myself, though, like he's not going to accept that. So that's the.
He doesn't want to eat humans.
That's illegal. That's illegal.
That's not.
Yeah, but we're not talking about like legality though. Right? We're just talking.
Well, I hold my ethics to a legal standard.
The whole so if slavery was legal, that would be okay.
But that's okay. Slavery, but
I'm not saying. Honestly, this guy is like so committed to like cutting people off. I don't think he's arguing in good faith. I'm gonna take that.
Look, what you're doing is you're saying that you prioritize the self in terms of ethics over others, right?
Precisely.
So let's say that you were in a social circumstance. Hold on. Let's say that you were in a social circumstance, right? Then you would be more likely to fuck over people if it was in your short-term and long-term success.
But this doesn't apply to everything. This applies to animals.
It doesn't apply to everything. It applies to animals.
Sure. So wait. So then what's true of animals, which if true of humans would?
Because I wanted to. Because that's my ethics. You can't tell me what my things are.
I'm not telling you. I'm asking. I'm trying to see if there's your ethics are consistent. So what I'm asking is, what's true of animals, with which, if true of humans, would?
That wording really confuses me. Can you?
Yeah, it does. It confuses people. Fish. So why are you using it?
So then I'll just ask, like, what's the morally salient difference that justifies?
It's an animal. It's an animal, and it's not a human.
Yep. Okay, so you chose humanity.
Between the two.
Yeah. I can't talk to a pig. I can't dap it up and.
Yeah, sure. So if you couldn't talk to a human, wait, hold on. If you couldn't talk to a human,
I love how he just figured out the counter argument to name the trait just like that.
And I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say if you can't talk to a human.
Zycron, you think?
Hold on. You're gonna say if you can't talk to a human.
If you're gonna let me do this, just let me do this.
Look, you can distinguish intuitive categories.
You were gonna talk about if you can't talk to a human, you're so you think that we should just kill disabled people that can't.
Yeah,
talk?
You think that's acceptable?
I give one example.
Honestly, you know what?
Wait, it's a pretty simple question. Is that acceptable?
No, because I was just giving.
Right, so then that's going to be a contradiction. So then talking is and is not the justification.
Okay,
so
let me explain this to you. Let me explain to you what a disabled person has. That's
wait, no, sorry. Is that a contradiction? No, hold on. I'm happy to let you add other things, but like you need to like acknowledge that.
Okay,
I said talking is a contradiction.
Sure, it just talking is a contradiction.
Okay, great. So what else?
The value that a disabled person holds over an animal. A disabled person gives people emotions. If someone instantly, or say someone lived their entire life and all of a sudden they became disabled, they could no longer walk, talk. They were kind of they're not, maybe not necessarily.
Why not just say it's because they're human?
Please let me finish talking.
Yeah, Zycron, please let me do this.
Look, it's because they're human.
So, Zycron, let me do
this.
Because
they're human, though. It's not because of any
other
trait.
If you think I don't have a response to that, you are going to be sorely mistaken.
Bring life to life.
Yeah, it's because they're human, but let me explain to you. It's because
then stop fucking.
Zycron, let me do it.
Please let me talk. Like, Jesus
Zycron, okay, guys, let's just have Fish and Abraham talk. Nobody else.
Okay, so this disabled person, what it is doing, it has given emotions to other people. It's lived its entire life. It has a mom, it has a dad, it has people that care about it, it has people that are paying its hospital bills so it can still stay alive. It has legitimate importance to people. Now, people don't care as much. Just naturally, they don't care as much about a pig. And if they did care much about a pig, they would not kill it. Okay, and guess what? You care about as much of a pig. Sure. So your ethical standard saying that you care as much about a pig, so you're not going to kill and you're not going to eat it. Okay, so that's it's sides. There's no agreement in these kind of things. Okay,
no,
I don't care as much about the pig as I do care about the disabled.
I understand. Okay, so the difference is the fact that somebody cares about the disabled person, and you don't actually care about the pig.
And they also are in what's it called? They are in charge of the disabled person. They're in charge of what happens to them. Okay, you are not in charge of what happens to my pig that I want to eat. Okay, because I want to eat it, and you don't really have a say in that, unfortunately.
Sure. So let's say there's a disabled person who's living alone in the woods. No one's in charge of it, and no one cares about it. Is it now acceptable to kill that disabled person?
Dude, if you find it, then you're legally obligated to take care of it. So there you go.
Wait, is that? Do you think that's how our law works? Do you think that if I stumble across,
by take care of it, I mean report it. You report it to the police and take care of the situation that he's in, and make sure that he's out of that situation. You are
let's say the police don't care. Let's say the police don't care about it.
If the police, that's not irrelevant. Hold on, wait. Care about it.
Well, what if they don't? Then it's
they're shitty police officers. I don't know.
That's not relevant. That doesn't matter. I'm asking.
Wait, how disabled is the person that was? Like, can he walk?
Hold on. One at a time.
That is assuming that the police officer doesn't care about it. Okay?
I'm posing a hypothetical in which a police officer doesn't care.
Well, that's not going to
happen. If we have a disabled person,
okay, you're telling me that this is even irrelevant to argue. Okay, this isn't even relevant because
it is relevant. Wait, no, hold on. I will tell you. Wait, hold on. I'll tell you exactly how it's relevant.
hey,
I'll tell you exactly. Wait a minute, stop.
The disabled person. He flops all on the ground.
I'll tell you exactly. Okay,
let's get rid of him. Let's shoot him.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you if you don't. Okay, look, listen. I will tell you exactly how it's relevant. So what you said is the reason it's acceptable to kill an animal, but not a person or not a disabled person, is because people care about the disabled person. So now I'm posing a hypothetical in which nobody cares about the disabled person, and I'm asking you, is it still
okay? In that hypothetical, okay, where the police officer just shoots him in the head, then he shoots him in the head. I don't know what else to say about that. Okay, that's
and do you think that's ethical? Is that ethical?
My ethics are different.
No.
Okay, so then we've got another contradiction. That caring is and is not a justification for killing something.
Man, I never said it was, dog. I'm agreeing with you too.
No, your hypotheticals are such bullshit because you can come up with whatever.
Wait, sorry, what's wrong with them? Sorry, what's wrong with them?
Because it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
That's not. Wait, sorry. Do you think that's relevant? Do you think that's relevant? So if I like,
yes, I do.
Oh, really? Should I list off some like hypotheticals in philosophy that are commonly used that are never gonna happen?
I mean,
are you familiar with the experience machine? Are you familiar with the experience machine?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, so this is a hypothetical. So this is a hypothetical where comes from philosopher Robert Nozick, who asks us to imagine an experience machine that you can plug into, that simulates every desire that you'll ever every desire you'll ever have. Like this
the
is
mirror
how philosophy
from like
works.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, sure, that's a good way to think about it. Like, except you actually think that all of your desires are being fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
So my point is just that these types of hypotheticals are commonly used in philosophy. This is how, like, if you read any like you can read Nozick, you can read any text on like utilitarianism or like deontology. Like these types of hypotheticals are used all the time. That's how we conduct moral philosophy.
Okay, but moral philosophy.
We could do the same too and have like if you go to the extreme.
Go ahead.
Okay, you're on an island. Wait. You're on an island. You are starving to death. There's also a lion across from you that's starving to death. You have a machete. Are you going to gut it and kill it and then eat it? Which is not ethical. Okay, so that's not ethical.
That's against your ethics.
Wait. Why?
Wait. No, it is against your ethics. Guess what? Mine actually has a chance of happening.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry, but we gotta go in like 5 minutes. Okay.
Your ethics is that like
you're completely being
killing animals unethical as fuck.
Can you tell me what my normative ethics are? Do you even
know?
Killing
an animal like that is unethical and unethical as fuck.
I fucking am. Okay,
because
you're arguing about veganism, so I'm assuming that you don't want to kill a thing that's not morally ethical. You're not going to want to eat and kill something that's not morally ethical. Okay, so I'm assuming
typically no, but there are some situations where where it's perfectly acceptable. I think, yeah.
So for your own gain, so you hold.
That is literally Abraham's entire point. Yeah, exactly. For his own gain.
So now you hold yourself to a higher standard than that lion. Now you're holding yourself to a higher standard than that lion.
Stop. So Abraham's point is that it's acceptable to kill and eat for taste pleasure, for convenience. Okay. I'm saying that in some scenario where it's you versus a lion, yes, I think you're acceptable. I think that you are more valuable than the lion, and you.
Now give me 20 seconds of your time. And now in my situation, I'm saying that it's a right to hold a retarded person that's your family member, and in your situation, you're saying it's okay to hold a retarded person that's just found in the woods, found by someone that didn't really want to take it but decided to take it, dumped off at a police station where the police station were like, fuck it, and they shot him in the head.
Yeah, and I'm asking
you see the extremes here that we're going, how your ethics can be proven wrong in an extreme situation.
No, wait, you haven't proven my ethics wrong.
Wait, what's your ethics again?
He's only
utilitarian. I hold that we ought to maximize the total well-being of sentient beings and minimize the total harm of sentient beings. So what's wrong with my view on the example you gave me?
We've already stated it, dude. I don't know what else you want.
No, you haven't. What's wrong with my? What's wrong? Wait. You haven't. So when you say there's something wrong with my ethics, I take that to be there's a contradiction. So what's the
one more time? Wait, what are they again? I wasn't listening.
His ethics are something about.
I'm a utilitarian. I hold that we ought to maximize well-being for sentient beings and minimize harm and suffering for sentient beings. So in this case, when we're talking about a human versus a lion, a human has a greater capacity for well-being, so we ought to save the human over the lion. What's inconsistent about that? What's the contradiction?
So
you ever watch Madagascar?
I just want to know what the contradiction is.
Wait, who said that? Who said that?
I just want to know what the contradiction is.
Okay, so the contradiction is the fact that let me confirm something with you. Do you believe that we should all be vegan? That as a society we should be vegan?
Yes.
Okay. So if we all became vegan, those sentients, the fact that the humans, we would not be able to preserve everyone as a sentient being. We would not be able to treat them the way that we could as if we were not all vegan.
What do you mean?
I mean that if we were not all vegan, or that we all vegan, and the food chain or whatever, as like a society, or not as a society, as literally like a world, we were all evened out, which is not natural and not possible, by the way. Okay.
Well, that's going to be an empirical claim that I'm going to require some evidence for.
Dude, Jesus what is Christ. It? You just... How do you think that? Okay, there's a reason why every society, why every world that could even possibly be imagined, there is someone at the top of that is conquering of the world. Maybe it's not like, maybe not the conquering of the world. Maybe it's conquering of the river, of their pond.
Did you just claim that it's impossible for society to be vegan?
Yes.
Okay, the animals got to be vegan too.
That's the empirical.
Animals got to be vegan. Then the animals got to be vegan too.
If animals can kill animals,
sorry. Why does that follow? Animals.
Because we're not killing them. What else are they gonna do?
We're animals. End of the day, we are also animals.
We are also
animals. Sorry. What's different from wait, hold on. Sorry. So as I said, on my view, I think we ought to maximize well-being and minimize harm. So what's the argument that not allowing animals to eat other animals maximizes well-being? I'm not convinced that that's the case. Well, wait. You just said. Okay, so I want the argument for that. I'm not convinced of that. Why isn't it possible for people to be vegan? For the world to be vegan?
If we were all vegan.
Okay, just ban the guy who keeps like screeching or whatever. Sorry, what? So yeah, what is the argument for why?
If we were all to be vegan, okay, if every single person or every single thing, every down.
Well, hold on. I don't hold that everything should be vegan. I only hold that moral agents should be vegan.
Oh, so now you're okay. So you. Okay, I don't even know. So now you think that the animal has the right to choose. That the animal
of course. Wait a minute. Of course. You think that's a problem?
The animal has a right to choose if it wants to be vegan or not, but I don't.
Yeah, of course, because then an animal isn't a moral agent. So
okay,
sorry.
Hold
on. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Bro.
No. Stop. Do you think that we should prosecute nurse sharks who cannibalize each other?
No, because they're not part of our society. But what you're implying.
Oh, wait a minute. Do you think?
But what you're implying, they would be a part of our society.
Wait a minute, stop. Yeah. Do you think we should prosecute humans who cannibalize each other?
Yes, because they're a part of our society. Right. In the hypothetical.
So then what's the
hypothetical?
What's the problem with me saying that we should have humans be vegan but not animals? What's the problem with that?
Okay, you're saying we should have.
It seems like there are plenty of standards that we apply to humans, but we don't apply to animals, like cannibalism.
Okay, what I was saying that if we were all humans and they were all vegans, do you think that we would be able to sustain at the top of the food chain? At the top.
Why would I care about being the top of the food chain?
Because if we weren't at the top of the food chain and we did not control society as humans, then animals would be to choose society, and then they would be.
What's the argument for that? We're a lot smarter than animals.
Guess what? Not if we let them grow.
Don't you think that's why we're at the top of the food chain?
Yeah, you ever think that that's why we're at the top of the food chain? Is because we kill them and eat them?
I'm not disputing that we're at the top of the food chain. I want to know what the relevance to that is.
I'm explaining to you the relevance. You just keep cutting me off. The relevance.
What does the top of the food chain really mean if, like, you could wander out into a jungle safari?
Just hold on.
At any minute, right? At any given minute. No, but seriously, it's a legitimate question, right? If basic animals like lions have like basically in every area physical prowess over you, how are you at the top of the food chain? That's just some subjective terminology that you're using based on like
technology. It's a shoot.
I'm granting that we're at the top of the food chain. I'm curious as to how that's relevant.
Then we would always be at the top of the food chain regardless, because we always have technology. If technology is what makes us at the top of the food chain,
that's fine.
If our intellect makes us the best, then we'll always be the best. It doesn't follow that we need to eat meat to be the best.
If pigs have already the capacity of 3-year-olds with us slaughtering them all the time, then what's not to say that they grow up and become the things from Minecraft and all of a sudden they have technology? Okay, what's to say that? Okay, we slaughter them to remain dominant, and that's just the end of it. And also, they taste good. I want to.
Okay,
I like
stop.
It's better for me, dude.
So
no. I'm kind of If you can't tell, I'm wrapping it up. I'm leaving. I'm leaving it. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it up.
We've been trying to leave for 10 minutes.
We're trying to leave.
Listen, stop, listen.
Yes, let me wrap it up. Let me wrap it up. Let me wrap it up. For God's fucking sake, dude. The end of the day is that I don't believe that we can remain as a society for a long period of time.
Yeah, and I want to know what the argument is.
Dude, I'm not telling. Dude, I've already tried for like 45 minutes.
No,
and it's not working.
Do you know what an argument is?
It's not gonna work. I'm gonna go play Valorant. I'm gonna go play Valorant. I'm
all right, you guys. I'm gonna. You guys have a good one.
Okay, we're here and we had a legitimate conversation, and I'm happy about that. Okay,
this has been.
And I'm glad that you guys are trying to educate people, and you guys did it respectfully for most of the time. Okay, but right now I'm done, and I just gotta go. I want to.
Okay, then go. That's fine.
Okay,
listen.
I hope you guys have a great
you're
rest
welcome
of your
back
life.
here to discuss animal ethics whenever you want.
I hope you guys have a great rest of your life.
I've been waiting for you to leave. Bye-bye.
2020.
I'll see you guys later. A nice conversation about this.
Yeah.
You guys are welcome back anytime. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Before we leave, I will say this was actually very helpful.
You guys have a good one.
It was a good hour, 2 hours.
Yeah, we'll see you guys.
So you guys made good points. So I hope all you guys have a good one. All right. See you, everyone.
All right, I guess it's over now.
Oh my god, that was painful. Holy fuck.
That was maybe the worst I've ever seen.
Holy shit.
I really wish I could have gotten a word in edgewise there, because I feel like I could
towards the end
gotten
you mean
somewhere, but just everywhere. It was just a mess.
Yeah.
It just rubbed it. Like I've never seen such bad form before.